Army General Paul D. Harkins to command the American force.
General, can we win this war?
Well, I'm optimistic.
Well, do our men have the capabilities of doing the job they're sent out here to do?
We have more or less handpicked the individuals that are coming here, and most of them have gone through special schooling for the job they're going to perform here. And I think they have the tremendous capability, yes.
Well, at the rate we're bringing them in here, won't we soon run out of capable people?
Not in America.
Without the United States, it's fair to say there would be no South Vietnam. Without United States help, there would certainly be no South Vietnamese economy. We hand over money and equipment for factories and roads and power plants, and we make up the country's deficit in overseas trade, and in general, we buck up the economy. We finance a commercial import program. Goods are bought by private companies for which they pay their government in local currency, that money to be spent by the government in agreement with us. The United States has poured in billions of dollars in the way we have of doing this, and South Vietnam has been declared a priority country for assistance. In case of conflicting need, it is taken care of before any other country in the area, and maybe before any other country in the world. All American materials are marked so that the people will know where they came from. It's more difficult to know where they're going and how much good they will do. Some American assistance has gone to build up private fortunes. Some has gone on government buildings and cars and payrolls and other not entirely essential items. Still, the purpose of the assistance was to strengthen the economy, and it did that. Now the need is to get the help to where it will have an immediate effect on winning the war, to the peasant. The Diem government has always been hopeless at that, but success depends on it being done, and being done fast. We also provide 100% of the military supplies, and with military supplies you accept that some of them will never be well used. Some of them will even find their way to the enemy, as happened on a tremendous scale in China before it fell to the communists. For that matter, our side is recapturing weapons we gave the French when they were fighting the Vietnamese in the 50s, and which the Viet Cong are using now.
We'll be back with a look at actual warfare in South Vietnam in a moment after this message.
The dance is called the twist. It is being enthusiastically performed with varying degrees of skill at the Caravel Hotel. Twist parties are now held here in Saigon's newest and best hotel once a week, alternating with the cha-cha-cha parties. There has been talk of dropping the cha-cha-cha, since the second crowd has more fun doing the twist. A ticket to these parties costs $8.50. A dozen oysters from the coastal town of Nha Trang costs about $2.75. They used to be cheaper, but now they have to be flown down to Saigon because communist sabotage has made train service unreliable. Champagne French, of course, goes for $21 a bottle. The parties often break up at 5 in the morning and are invariably a sellout. The place is Trabong Valley, also in South Vietnam. For 2 full days, 2 reinforced government companies have repelled attacks by 5 battalions of Viet Cong. First, the outpost at An Hoa was hit by Communist battalions 103 and 104. Minutes later, an assault was mounted on Trabong City. The trucks and guns were made and paid for in America. Many of the government troops were advised and trained by Americans. The dead and wounded are all Vietnamese. This will be a victory for the Republic. The communists have tried a major battle. They have tried to beat their foes in the open. They have lost. The engagement ends on the second day when 7 United States Army helicopters reinforce the beleaguered garrison at Trebong City with fresh troops and turn the tide. The victory is sweet. Less than 300 government troops repelled nearly 1,200 Viet Cong. More than 50 Viet Cong dead, 110 wounded. 18 government troops dead, 29 wounded, all Vietnamese. Captured are 2 recoilless rifles, machine guns, pistols, grenades, and other treasured hardware in a war where a rifle is valued more than the man who carries it. Also prisoners, 2, alive but barely. From them comes the intelligence, names of the unit commanders, locations of communist headquarters, strength of force in the area. This time, some of the cadres can be directly linked to North Vietnam. They have traveled the trail from Hanoi, passing easily through Laos to organize and lead the guerrilla battalions. The price is dear. Machine guns, airstrikes, 105 howitzers kill and maim the guerrillas, but they also rip indiscriminately at the villages and the peasants over whom the war is being fought. For them, this has been 2 days of hell. Helicopters evacuate as many of the seriously wounded as they can, but the problem, as one sickened American medic says, is these people have no place to go. When the guerrillas can be found, if they come out into the open, the Vietnamese arsenal has the weapons to defeat them. World War II airstrikes and vintage American AD-6 or T-28 airplanes with napalms, rockets, and machine guns can wreak havoc on the enemy who has no vehicles and must escape on foot. An effective tactic, if you can find the enemy, is to flush him out with ground troops, often carried by helicopter, and as he starts to retreat, hit him from the air. Nonetheless, Air Force advisors say these planes take too long to get on target. Too often, between the sighting of the enemy and arrival of the planes, the Viet Cong have time to dissolve into the underbrush and jungle. While the government seeks the elusive communists, the peasant sees them all too often. They haunt his nights, recruit him into their army, punish him if he informs the officials, extort rice and money from him. Then they disappear and wait. Mostly the war is endless searching by large numbers of government troops with only minor results. A 2-day operation involving an American helicopter company, 200 troops, 30 kilometers of marching is a good one when it yields 8 prisoners, 1 dead, and some communist literature. One regiment marches 5 days to capture 2 guerrillas, 1 old French rifle, and a picture of North Vietnam's premier Ho Chi Minh. Then the Viet Cong come out of hiding and attack a hamlet through which the regiment passed the day before. The Viet Cong look like peasants, live like peasants, and the communist irregulars, the less organized supporters, are peasants. Official Vietnamese intelligence estimates there are 200,000 irregulars plus more than 25,000 regular troops. These are Viet Cong, but sometimes the wrong man is captured. This is a guerrilla house, but sometimes a loyal villager has his home burned down. This does not make it any easier to accept President Diem's democracy. As a shadow force, the Viet Cong have been and continue to be impressively successful, but their massive attacks, like those on Trebong, have often been disasters. Many observers think their reason for such costly departures from the pattern is to counter the growing impression among the people that the government is gaining strength. Intelligence and communications are the crying need. If you can find the enemy and tell someone in time, he can be beaten. But even more important to the winning of the battle is winning the confidence of the people. Helicopters landed 81 men of the 2nd Division in a rice paddy in Quang Nai Province in the central Vietnam lowlands. The peasants, who had been harassed for 4 successive nights, came slowly at first, then in surges. They brought fruit, potatoes, and water to the soldiers and pleaded with them to stay, promising to feed and house them indefinitely. But the mission was a short one. When the young Army lieutenant explained the troops wouldn't stay, the villagers begged the camera crew to stay. When the helicopter